Hello, wonderful listeners. Welcome back to Everyday English Chat, the podcast where you learn English without feeling like you're studying. I'm your host, Sophia, coming to you today with a giant cup of iced caramel latte and a very energetic mood. So if I talk too fast, blame the coffee.
And I'm Henry, currently holding a cup of tea that I absolutely didn't spill on my shirt 3 minutes ago. Totally in control, totally calm, definitely not panicking.
Henry, your shirt literally has a tea stain shaped like Australia.
Well, at least I'm wearing world geography.
Anyway, today we're starting an exciting 4-part podcast series on one of the biggest and most fun topics ever, news. But not the stressful kind, not the global crisis or political tension or prices rising again type of news that gives everyone a headache. Nope. Today is all about the happy, smile-worthy, wholesome, and lighthearted news from around the world.
These are the stories that remind you the world isn't always a scary place. Sometimes it's full of kindness, cuteness, and very confused animals doing strange things.
And while we share these stories, you'll learn natural vocabulary, daily expressions, reaction phrases, and sentence patterns you can use in your English conversations.
Plus, you'll hear real spoken English, the kind people actually use in cafes, offices, group chats, and awkward elevator moments.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy part 1 of our 5,500-word adventure, Happy News Around the World. Let's start with a story that honestly made me smile all day. So there's this 92-year-old man who just graduated from university.
92. At 92, I just hope I'll still remember my own name. This man is out here earning degrees like he's 19.
Right? So his name is Mr. Walter. He left school when he was young because he had to work and support his family, but he always wanted to finish his studies. Recently, he said, why not now? And he enrolled again.
You know what I love? His grandchildren showed up to the graduation ceremony with giant, colorful banners saying, "Go, Grandpa," and "We're proud of you."
He cried, and I cried watching the video, and then my cat looked at me like, "Are you okay, human?"
Vocabulary time. Phrase, it's never too late, meaning you can pursue your goals at any age.
Exactly. And listeners, repeat after me. It's never too late. Again, it's never too late.
Okay, this next story is absolutely ridiculous, and I love it. There's a tiny town in California where the mayor is a dog.
This cannot be real.
It is. The dog's name is Max. Max the mayor. He wears a tie. He attends events. People take selfies with him. Kids adore him.
Please tell me he gives speeches.
He gives barks. Very inspiring barks.
Honestly, this sounds peaceful. A mayor who loves everyone, takes naps, and has no scandals.
Vocabulary time. Phrase, lighthearted news. Meaning, news that is funny, sweet, relaxing, and makes you smile.
Lighthearted news is my favorite. Even better if it includes cute animals running the government. All right, listen to this. There's a penguin in Denmark, her name is Olde, who just turned 43.
43. Sophia, that's older than both of us combined in penguin years.
Penguins usually live 15 to 20 years. Olde has doubled that, plus some. She's basically the queen of penguins.
They gave her a fish cake.
Yes, a giant fish cake decorated with tiny frozen sardines. And guess what? Other penguins gathered around her like she was a celebrity.
This is the kind of content I want from the world.
Vocabulary. Wholesome. Something pure, sweet, and comforting.
Here's something amazing. In a small town in India, hundreds of volunteers planted 10,000 trees in just one day.
10,000? That's incredible teamwork.
Kids, parents, grandparents, everyone joined. They turned it into a festival with music, food, and dancing.
That's so heartwarming. Imagine growing up in that town and knowing you helped create a forest.
New phrase, a collective effort, meaning something done by many people working together.
This one touched me. A small family-run bakery started offering free bread to anyone struggling financially, no questions asked.
Human kindness at its best.
People started leaving little notes like, "Thank you, you fed my family today," or "I promise to pay this forward someday."
That's the kind of news we should see every day. At a school in Canada, a cafeteria worker named Maria had been serving meals for 20 years. She always smiled, always remembered everyone's names, and always encouraged students.
And the students decided to surprise her with a thank you parade.
Flowers, signs, applause. She cried so much. And then I cried watching the video.
Vocabulary: acts of kindness, meaning small or big actions to help or appreciate others.
Here are useful phrases for sharing happy stories. To start a news story, guess what I heard today? Did you see this in the news? I came across this sweet story. You're going to love this. Reactions: "Aw, that's adorable. That made my day. My heart is so happy right now. No way, that's amazing." To describe positive news: wholesome, uplifting, inspiring, encouraging, heartwarming, joyful, lighthearted.
Did you hear about the bakery giving free bread?
No, that's so kind. What happened?
They want to help people who are struggling.
That's really inspiring. I love hearing news like that.
So, Henry, since we started with positive news earlier, let's switch gears a little. I want to talk about the funniest and most surprising news stories from around the world.
Oh, yes, my favorite category. Funny news never fails to make my day. Do you have something ready?
Absolutely. Okay, here's one. A news report from a small town said that a woman called the police because her pet parrot stole her credit card and ordered things online.
What? A parrot committed online shopping fraud?
Apparently, yes. It ordered a necklace, a box of cookies, and, I'm not kidding, a bright red wig.
I have so many questions. First, how smart is this parrot? Second, why a wig?
The woman said the parrot enjoys dramatic fashion.
That parrot is living a better life than me. You know, sometimes English learners hear stories like this and think, is this real? Yes, news can be weird.
A perfect expression for this is, you can't make this up. It means the situation is so bizarre, it sounds like a joke, but it's actually true.
Exactly. For example, a parrot buying a wig? You can't make this up.
All right, Henry, your turn. Give me a surprising story.
Oh, I've got a good one. A man in Japan kept hearing strange noises under his bed for weeks. He thought it was a mouse or maybe a broken pipe. When he finally checked,
Don't tell me it was a ghost.
nope, it was a robot vacuum that he lost 8 months earlier. It had somehow turned itself on every night and got stuck under the bed again and again.
Wait, he lost his vacuum cleaner for 8 months? How big is his bed?
That's the mystery. And the funniest part is that the vacuum was still trying its best to do its job.
We love a hardworking vacuum. For learners, this is a great moment to mention the phrase, to run wild.
Yes, my imagination ran wild means you started imagining dramatic or scary possibilities.
Like, I heard a strange noise under the bed and my imagination ran wild.
Exactly.
Short English Spotlight, everyday casual expressions. Since we're talking about surprising news, let's teach a few very useful expressions.
Sure, here are 3. No way, meaning I'm shocked or surprised. Example, a parrot bought things online? No way.
Get out of here, meaning I don't believe it. Really? Example, he found a vacuum cleaner under his bed after 8 months? Get out of here.
That blew my mind, meaning something is extremely surprising or unbelievable. Example, the story blew my mind.
These phrases sound natural and friendly.
Yes, use them when reacting to news stories.
More surprising news stories. Okay, here's another funny one. A bakery in London accidentally made a cake shaped like a giant shoe, and people loved it so much that they started ordering more shoe cakes.
That's hilarious. Would you eat a shoe cake, Sophia?
If it's chocolate, yes. If it tastes like a real shoe, absolutely not.
Imagine someone saying, I got you a gift. It's a shoe, but you can eat it. That's confusing news.
For English learners, a good phrase here is, I'm confused, but okay.
I use that daily.
Same. Weird animal news, because why not?
I have an animal story too. A farmer in France reported that his cows kept escaping the farm. After installing security cameras, he discovered
Oh no, what were they doing?
the cows were opening the gate with their tongues.
What? How long did it take them to master that skill?
The farmer said they were too clever for their own good.
Okay, cows are evolving. Very soon they'll be voting and opening bank accounts.
Here's a great expression for learners. Too clever for their own good means someone is so smart that they cause trouble.
Like a child who learns how to unlock the kitchen drawer and steals cookies.
Or a cow who unlocks the gate and goes on adventures.
Short English learning segment, describing news. Many English learners struggle with describing different types of news, so let's practice quick examples.
Yes, here are a few. Shocking news, meaning surprising, unexpected. Heartwarming news, makes you feel warm and happy. Bizarre news, strange, odd. Hilarious news, extremely funny. Disturbing news, uncomfortable, upsetting. Uplifting news, positive and inspiring.
Example sentence, the story about the vacuum cleaner was hilarious and bizarre.
Or, the cow escaping the farm was funny and surprising.
These adjectives help you sound more natural when talking about news.
I have one more. A man in Germany got locked outside his smart home because the facial recognition camera didn't recognize him after he shaved his beard.
No, that cannot be real.
It is. He had to call his neighbor who had a spare key.
Technology betrayed him. For learners, a great phrase here is, I trusted you. People say it jokingly when something you depend on doesn't work.
Like when your phone closes an app and you lose your progress.
Or when your smart home forgets your face.
Another useful expression, lesson learned.
Meaning, now you know not to repeat the same mistake.
Lesson learned, never shave if your house won't recognize you afterwards.
Many dialogue practice for learners.
Let's do a quick short practice conversation with reactions.
Yes, repeat after us if you want. I read shocking news today.
No way, what happened?
A parrot ordered things online with its owner's credit card.
Get out of here. That's hilarious.
I know, it totally blew my mind.
That is the funniest thing I've heard all week.
See, just a few simple phrases and the conversation becomes lively and natural.
More weird news stories. Sophia, have you heard about the man who tried to rob a store but slipped on a banana peel before he even got inside?
Stop, that sounds like something from a cartoon.
The security camera footage went viral. He slipped, fell, got up, tried again, slipped again, and finally gave up and went home.
That's what we call instant karma, when something happens immediately as a consequence of your action.
Yes, don't rob stores. Also, avoid banana peels.
Both great life lessons. English learning, phrases to react to bad or sad news politely.
Since we've talked about happy and funny news, let's include a quick guide for reacting to sad or serious news too.
Good idea. Here are some useful phrases. I'm sorry to hear that. That must be difficult. Are you okay? Let me know if you need anything. I hope things get better soon.
These expressions sound empathetic and caring.
And they're important because not all news is happy or funny.
More surprising news from around the world. All right, one last story from me. A grandmother in Italy accidentally joined a marathon because she thought the crowd was going to a free food market.
No way.
She walked with the participants for the first 10 minutes, then realized everyone was running.
So what did she do?
She shrugged and kept running.
I love her. That's the energy I want in my life.
Fun expression, when in doubt, go with the flow.
Meaning, when you're not sure what to do, follow the group.
Exactly.
English learning. Describe your own news.
To help learners practice speaking, let's give a template for describing news.
Yes, here it is. Start with the type of news. Today, I heard surprising news.
Explain what happened. A woman found her parrot ordering things online.
Give your reaction. It completely blew my mind.
Share your opinion. I think it's hilarious and unbelievable.
You can use this structure for any news story. Great for speaking practice, podcasts, videos, anything.
Henry, I want to talk about something that always makes the news interesting: unexpected human behavior. People do the strangest things sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. I have a story that is both strange and kind of brilliant. A man in Canada built a full-size cardboard car and tried to park it in a residents-only zone just to reserve a parking spot.
Wait, a cardboard car? Like cardboard?
Yes, corrugated cardboard, painted silver with fake headlights and windows.
I can't decide if that's genius or insane.
Honestly, both. For learners, this is where you can use the expression, "It's so crazy, it might actually work."
Example: a cardboard car as a parking placeholder. It's so crazy, it might actually work.
Except it didn't. The wind blew the car away.
Nature said, not today. Here are some expressions for reacting to unusual news. That's wild. That's unbelievable or extreme. What were they thinking? Asking why someone did something strange. I can't wrap my head around it. I can't understand it. Only in place. Used to joke that a certain country or city does strange things. Example: only in Canada.
These phrases are perfect when you hear bizarre stories. Speaking of what were they thinking, here's another one. A man in Spain tried to disguise himself as his 85-year-old mother so he could take her driving test for her.
Please tell me he at least wore a wig.
Oh yes, wig, dress, glasses, even makeup.
That's commitment. And he expected the examiner not to notice?
Well, they noticed when his deep, manly voice said, "Good morning."
That gives away the plan immediately.
Great phrase for learners. He didn't think it through, meaning he didn't plan carefully.
Or, nice try, but no. Let's balance things with something more serious but meaningful. I read about a city that organized a huge clean air day where people left their cars at home for 24 hours. The result? Air quality improved by 40% in one day.
That's impressive and actually very encouraging. For English learners, this kind of news is called environmental news.
And here are useful phrases for discussing it. Environmental impact, the effect something has on nature. Carbon footprint, how much pollution someone creates. Sustainable habits, eco-friendly lifestyle choices. Renewable energy, energy from nature like wind or sun.
Example, reducing car use has a positive environmental impact.
News like this reminds us that small actions can make a big difference.
Speaking of positive impact, I love stories that show human kindness, like the one about a taxi driver in New York who returned a bag containing $14,000 to its owner.
Wow, that is heartwarming. And the owner said it was their life savings.
That's the kind of story that makes you go, there are still good people in the world.
For learners, that phrase is used when someone does something extremely kind or honest.
Here are a few more emotional reaction phrases. That warms my heart. That made my day. That gives me hope.
These are great for reacting to feel-good news.
Here's another lovely one. A boy in India who couldn't afford books used to stand outside a bookstore every day just to read through the window. The bookstore owner eventually noticed and gave him free access to all the books.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Then the community collected money to help pay for the boy's education.
Stories like this show the power of compassion.
For learners, power of compassion equals how kindness can change lives.
And also the phrase acts of kindness.
Many English learners struggle to express emotions clearly. Let's give a few examples using simple structures.
Yes, here are patterns you can use. I felt emotion when I heard the news. Example, I felt inspired when I heard about the boy and the bookstore.
The story made me feel emotion. Example, the taxi driver's story made me feel hopeful.
It was adjective. It was touching. It reminded me that kindness still exists.
These simple templates help communicate feelings clearly and naturally.
Okay, time for something unbelievable from nature. In Australia, a man found a two-headed snake in his backyard.
No thank you. I would immediately move to another country.
And the surprising part is both heads had different personalities.
Excuse me? Snakes have personalities?
According to the expert, yes. One head was calm, the other was aggressive.
That is absolutely the stuff of nightmares. Great phrase for learners. The stuff of nightmares. Something scary or creepy.
Another good one. I would freak out, meaning I would panic or be very scared.
Trust me, I would faint.
I have one too. A nature reserve in Africa announced that elephants have started naming each other. Scientists discovered that elephants use specific sounds to address individuals.
That is fascinating.
They literally call each other by name, like, "Hey Kevin, come here," but in elephant language.
That means animals are way smarter than we think.
For learners, phrases to describe this: scientific discovery, groundbreaking research, new findings.
Here's an example. Scientists made a groundbreaking discovery about elephants communicating.
Here's an amusing story from the tech world. A robot in a supermarket was designed to help customers find items, but the robot kept leading people to the candy aisle.
You know what? I respect that robot.
It had one mission: make people happy with candy.
Sometimes robots understand life better than humans.
This is a good opportunity to teach the phrase, "it backfired."
Meaning the plan did the opposite of what was intended.
Example: the supermarket wanted the robot to help customers, but it backfired because it promoted candy too much.
Headlines in English can be confusing because they often cut out words. Let's give examples.
Yes, here are typical headline styles. City launches new recycling program. No a or the. Man finds two-headed snake in garden. Can feel dramatic. Scientists reveal shocking elephant discovery. Uses emotional adjectives.
For learners, remember, headlines are short. Articles, a, the, an, are usually removed. Words are simplified to save space.
That's why news headlines sound different from normal sentences.
Want another weird one?
Absolutely. A woman in the US called the police because her plants were getting too dusty and she wanted help watering them.
And what did the police say?
They politely told her dusting plants is not an emergency.
Oh my. Great phrase for learners. Not an emergency. Meaning not important enough for urgent help.
Another one, overreacting, reacting too strongly.
Let's give a structure for giving opinions about news.
In my opinion, the cardboard car idea was creative but risky.
I believe that environmental news should be shared more often.
Personally, I think the robot candy assistant is adorable.
From my perspective, technology sometimes surprises us.
These make your speaking sound more confident and clear. Another interesting story. A town in Finland held a silent dance festival where everyone danced while wearing headphones. From the outside, it looked like people were jumping around in complete silence.
That sounds fun and also confusing if you're walking by.
People said it felt freeing because nobody judged their dancing.
Great phrase for learners. Let loose. Relax and be free.
Example: silent dance festivals help people let loose without feeling shy.
Let's do another mini practice.
I heard bizarre news today.
Oh, tell me more.
Scientists discovered that elephants call each other by name.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
Me neither. It completely surprised me.
That's such an interesting discovery.
Henry, I've noticed something. People often get their news from social media now, not from newspapers or TV. And sometimes the news is, let's say, not very accurate.
Oh yes, the era of fake news, dramatic headlines, and random rumors. Honestly, social media is like a giant megaphone. One person whispers something weird, and suddenly a million people are talking about it.
Exactly. And what's funny is how quickly misinformation spreads. For example, I remember a story where someone claimed that drinking 7 cups of coffee a day could make you invisible to mosquitoes.
Invisible to mosquitoes? I wish, but obviously that was fake.
Absolutely fake, but thousands of people shared it. For our learners, good expressions related to fake news include unverified information, not checked or confirmed, misleading headlines, titles that make you think something untrue, go viral, spread very quickly online, and fact check, verify if something is true.
Here's an example. You should fact-check strange news before sharing it.
And also, be careful with misleading headlines online. Funny social media news stories.
Speaking of headlines, here's a hilarious one I saw recently. Man claims alien stole his sandwich. Police investigating.
Oh my gosh, stop. An alien? With a sandwich? Why would aliens travel across galaxies for bread and cheese?
Maybe they wanted a quick snack? Anyway, the police obviously didn't find any aliens.
For learners, this is where you use expressions like, "That sounds suspicious. I highly doubt that. Nice story, but I'm not buying it."
Example, I'm not buying the alien sandwich story.
Scary news and emotional reactions. Not all news is funny, though. Some news can be scary, shocking, or emotional, like natural disasters or emergencies.
True, and reacting in English appropriately is important. Here are phrases you can use when you hear something serious or tragic. That's terrible. I hope everyone is safe. That sounds frightening. I can't imagine how difficult that must be.
These are gentle, supportive reactions. For example, there was a big earthquake? That's terrible. I hope everyone is safe.
Yes, using the right emotional tone matters a lot.
Unusual science news.
Let's lighten it up again. Scientists recently grew a plant from a seed that was 2,000 years old.
2,000 years? That seed was basically older than modern history.
Yes, they found it in an ancient jar, and after all that time, it still worked.
That is amazing, and it's perfect news for teaching science vocabulary. Ancient artifact, something old from the past. Scientific experiment, a test with a goal. Successful growth, something grew well. Researchers conducted a study. Scientists did a study.
Example sentence. Researchers conducted a study and achieved successful growth of a 2,000-year-old seed.
Business and economy news. A lot of people also read business news, and sometimes the simplest business stories make the biggest headlines, like the small bakery that went viral because their cat became their official cashier.
Oh, yes, the cat that sat at the cash register every day and greeted customers. They even gave the cat a tiny apron.
That's adorable. And sales increased because everyone wanted to see the cashier cat.
Good vocabulary for business news. Profit increased, customer demand rose, viral marketing, brand popularity.
Example, the bakery's brand popularity increased because of their famous cashier cat.
Weather news. Weather news can also be surprising. Recently, a city in Brazil experienced snowfall for the first time in 60 years.
That is incredible. Imagine waking up and seeing snow when you've never seen it in your life.
Exactly. And weather vocabulary is always useful. Unexpected snowfall, record temperatures, severe weather warning, climate changes.
Example, the city received an unexpected snowfall after decades. Cultural news and festivals. I love cultural news too, like the story about a village in South Korea that created a festival just for grandmothers, celebrating their stories, cooking, and wisdom.
That is beautiful. I love cultural traditions, especially when they celebrate elders.
Vocabulary that fits cultural news is annual festival, happens every year, local traditions, community celebration, cultural heritage.
Example, the community held an annual festival to celebrate cultural heritage.
Sports news. Sports news is another huge category, and sometimes the headlines are wild, like runner wins marathon after taking the wrong turn and accidentally joining the race.
Wait, he wasn't even in the race?
Nope, he was just jogging, accidentally joined the marathon, won third place.
That is unbelievable. Sports vocabulary learners can use: unexpected victory, athletic performance, competing athletes, spectators cheered.
Example, the spectators cheered for the runner's unexpected victory. Political news. Political news can be confusing for learners, so let's give simple, helpful vocabulary without getting into opinions. Government announcement, new policy introduced, public response, official statement.
Example, the government released an official statement about the new policy.
Celebrity news. Celebrity news is probably the most dramatic, like when a famous actor adopted a goat and named it after their favorite movie character.
A goat? That's very
unique. Celebrity news vocabulary, public appearance, rumors spreading, confirmed by spokesperson, social media reaction.
Example, rumors spread quickly until the spokesperson confirmed the news. English practice, how to discuss news in conversations. Let's teach learners how to start a conversation about news naturally.
Good idea. Here are simple openers. Did you hear about? I read something interesting today. There was a surprising story in the news. Guess what happened today?
And for continuing the conversation, what do you think about it? How would you react? That reminds me of another story.
These phrases help keep the conversation flowing.
English practice. Make your own news story. Here is a fun speaking exercise for learners. Fill in the blanks to create your own fictional news story. Today, I heard type of news. It happened in place. A person or animal did something, adjective. The result was emotion. In my opinion, your reaction.
Example, today I heard surprising news. It happened in Japan. A cat pressed the elevator button to help its owner. The result was adorable. In my opinion, cats should run the world.
That is perfect example. A big mix of emotional news. You know, news can make us feel anything. Happy, sad, confused, inspired.
True. And here are emotional words learners can use to describe news. Amazed, shocked, touched, disappointed, relieved, worried, thrilled.
Example, I was amazed by the story of the ancient seed. I was touched by the boy reading books for free. I was shocked by the two-headed snake. See? Very simple and very natural.
Final funny story before we wrap up.
A man in Italy went viral because he accidentally glued his hand to his phone when trying to fix the phone case.
Oh my gosh, how did he call for help?
His neighbor called for him because he couldn't unlock the screen.
That is painful and hilarious. Best reaction phrase, that's unfortunate, but also kind of funny.
Poor guy, but yes, very funny.
And that brings us to the end of our news-themed English podcast. We covered everything: funny stories, surprising stories, emotional stories, nature news, science discoveries, social media surprises, and useful English expressions.
We hope you learned new vocabulary, natural reactions, and helpful speaking patterns. Remember, the best way to improve your English is to talk about real-life topics, and news is perfect for that.
Thanks for listening, practicing, and laughing with us.
See you next time!